So to be able to really pay attention what's going on in our mind, and to have a very clear decision what we allow and what we don't allow. The mind is a creative machine. That's what it does. It creates reality. Really, that's what it does. Hopefully, we all be able to get in this meditation to a point where the mind doesn't think at all. And then it'll be very, very clear for us that once the thought starts to move in the mind, it creates reality. Whatever. It can be anything, but we must need the mind for that. Even to talk right now, I need to have data stored in my hard disk in a way to communicate what I want to say. Otherwise, I won't be able to do it. So when the mind is completely quiet, there is no creative process, or there is creative process, but it doesn't involve any thought. It just happens, like you download information straight, you're channeling. That's, I believe, how the great composer composed music, or I'm sure all of you, all of us, had this feeling that suddenly things are coming to us and we're just creating and doing, and there's no one really there doing it. It's just happening. It's such a beautiful experience. And normally we remember it because it's so powerful. But that's not the usual case. The usual case is that we're doing our thing and the mind doing its own thing, and it's not really checked. Really, it's not really checked. And even worse, sometimes intentionally, we think in a way that it's very, very negative. So we can divide that. Number one is, if possible, not to think at all. If possible, to be in an enlightened state where you feel that you are, just are, is, am, and the mind is just a speck of dust in the infinite being which you are. This is the cool state. This is called enlightenment, really. Yeah. But if we are not in that state, so at least let's be more selective what we allow to move as a thought and what we don't allow. Yeah, much more selective. So that's what we're aiming at this meditation. And for that there are many tools, but also theory saying that the way we're thinking is actually, you can say, addiction. Because obviously addiction, I will define something that I do, but actually it's not good for me. And I cannot not do it, or it's very difficult for me not to do it. I would say this addiction. So if I think negative thought and I know it's bad for me, this is addiction. Now, to break addiction, you have to break habits. And to break habits, you have to understand neuropsychology, that the mind is actually wired in a way that creates those things just out of habit. If we're aware of that, so we have to break habits. And breaking habits, it doesn't start only with the mind or only with thought. We have to break habits of anything we do, including things that has zero importance. Yeah, it doesn't matter if I put my shirt on first with the left arm, then second with the right arm. It has no meaning. But it has a meaning if I think that I'm stupid, or if I think, oh my God, what will happen in my life, or if I think I'm not good enough, or this really makes a big difference because it's create reality. But if I train my mind to be completely checked, no matter what I do, wearing my clothes or what I think, then there's a good chance that it'll be all much more selective, much more selective. We might feel that actually the mind is too strong, and we cannot face it, or that's okay. But at least it comes with a lot of awareness that, oops, wow, I need to do more work. I cannot really control it. It's overwhelming. It's okay. Then we have different tools, we have different practices. That's why we do meditation, we do yoga, and you'll find your own way. But to give up for the mind, that's not a good solution if we want to achieve whatever we want to achieve in life. Because if we understand that the mind is a creating tool or creative tool, basically that's what it is. It creates reality, and it's so scattered, moving from here to here, from there to there. How can I achieve something? It's impossible. Okay, so let's move in. You see, because I can talk and talk and talk, but that's also mind. Yeah, and it's easy for the mind to talk or to listen than actually to be. But once it's really being, it will not want to talk because it's so blissful. So let's go for it. So first, let's check our current state of being. Am I soft? How is my mind? Am I in enlightened state? Meaning that my mind is a speck. It's not really, almost not there. I feel so infinite. Or I feel that my mind is actually completely overwhelming me. It's so busy, it's running around like crazy. It's very important to acknowledge as well the relationship between other component of our existence, For example, in the yogic tradition, you're not supposed to eat stimulants, like even garlic and onion, although it's very healthy, to eat them raw for yogi, they don't do it because it's too stimulating the mind. And when the mind moves, thought comes, and then it's difficult to steady or to still the mind. But we don't have to be extreme like this, but you have to pay attention for yourself. What kind of behaviors, habits move your mind too fast? Yeah, maybe alcohol, maybe coffee, maybe even green tea, or other habits, different movies that you see, books that you read. You have to check for yourself and be very honest with yourself. For example, I will never see a movie that is beyond 12 years old. Never. Yeah. If I see it's beyond 12, I don't see that. I know probably there is something that is too stimulating for me. I don't want to see that. I don't want to expose my system to aggression, violence. I know it's not good for me. Okay, let's go for it. So we acknowledging the state of our mind, the state of our body. If you're more familiar with energy, acknowledge the state of your energy. Yeah, energy is so powerful, so much there, but it's appear as if it's settled. So acknowledging how you're doing with the energy. What does it mean? It means vibration. It means sensation of difference between sides. It means overflow of energy to one side or another, or up or down. It means that the aura feels maybe too tight or heavy, or if you see color, it's dark. It means that some chakras feels not balanced. Yeah? So all those are energy sensation. But if you're not familiar with that, so don't worry about it. Just pay attention how you are. And because we're talking about cleansing, we're talking about not throwing garbage. So let's specifically pay attention to the state of our mind and what kind of, if there is any conversation, is it a dirty, you can say, or not healthy conversation, judgmental, or is it soft, sweet, caring, loving, supportive? In the Jewish tradition, there is a saying that says, what you don't want to do to yourself, don't do to somebody else. Yeah? But normally, it's opposite. We will not ever say to somebody else what we're saying in our mind to ourselves. So we should turn it around and say, what you don't do to somebody else, for sure don't do to yourself. Okay, so now we kind of checked how our mind is. So let's check the effect that probably thoughts and emotion that went through our system during the day, how they affected our system. Because, okay, I don't want to throw garbage, but I acknowledge that actually I'm garbaged. You know, I'm blocked. I did already throw some stuff in my system. So I need to cleanse, and I need to have tools to cleanse. And if I find blockage, it's not a reason to continue and blame myself. You know, you don't do it, and you know it's not good. And why you? No, we don't do this. Once we recognize there is blockage, we want, first of all, to admit the blockage with love. Like if you have a child, or when you're a child, or even an adult, if you don't feel good, you want somebody to hug you, to take good care of you, to kiss you, to embrace you. Come, what's going on? Or even don't talk to me, just I'll hold you. You're gonna feel better. Just like this. So, if you find blockage, be nice to yourself. Nobody really wants to hurt themselves, but we do it constantly. So part of transformation is to talk nice to ourselves, like we want others to talk to us. To be loving, caring, soft, sweet, like this. So maybe we can practice for a minute in a conversation like this. Let's say if my heart chakra is a bit heavy, so I can say to myself, I'm here for you, Yair. I see that you are a bit heavy on your chest. Let's just be there together. I'm holding you. I'm being with you. I'm soft with you. If you feel emotional, you can cry. But I'm here, I'm holding you. That's okay. Something like this, to be soft. So it's true that it's the mind talking to itself, really. But that's the first step. Okay? Next step, after we change the conversation, the inner conversation within, is to connect to the source. Because inside our mind we can be fighting all the time. Yeah? In the little world that our mind creates and fight it. Fighting. Yeah? Sometimes loving, sometimes fighting, but it's very small. So if you want to transform, to heal, we have to expand. We cannot stay little anxious people, you know. We have to expand and acknowledge the magic in which we live. And the easiest way for that, and the straightforward for that, is the breath, for sure, the breath, the breathing. So once we remember, actually, I am infinite being, I need to move out of this little person consciousness. So we start to become aware of the breath. And when we become aware of the breathing, the recommendation is to be aware that the breath comes from the whole creation, meaning that your mind is wide and infinite, completely infinite. And from that infinity, you're inhaling, and to that infinity, you're exhaling. Let's do it. When you inhale from infinity, acknowledge that the wisdom and the life force that creates all the galaxies and the planets and all the beauty that is around us is you, and it discharges in you to give you power. So acknowledge that it will give you more power. When you're exhaling, we do it with so much gratitude. Thank you for being breathed, given life. Inhaling with the awareness of the whole creation. And exhaling with so much love and gratitude. Thank you. All the time with awareness of infinity. Okay, we continue exactly the same, but now we can target specific, maybe islands or spots of tension. So if your chest feels heavy, continue the same type of breathing, but direct the breath more specifically into the chest or any other place that you feel some kind of discomfort. And you can always combine it with this positive affirmation, I love you, Yair. And then exhaling with gratitude. Thank you. Okay. And now come the next step, which is the spiritual community. Now here, we're a group of amazing, wonderful people, the chosen to dedicate this moment to feel better for our own wellness and for the wellness of each other, to support each other, and for the wellness of humanity. So we can use the fact that we are together to get the total power that we can generate between us to support each other. So for that purpose, let's acknowledge that we're forming a circle between us. And as we inhale, we're receiving from each other so much love and light and power into our heart, into our whole being. And when we exhale, we share it with the rest of the group. And every time we inhale, we get more because we shared and we get and receive and we give, receive and give. And it's all expanding and become more and more powerful. But it's all depend on each one of us holding in your mind with clarity the fact that we formed a circle of light beings. As much we are together with this image, more power is generated between us. Yeah, I already feel the difference because you're doing it, we're doing it. Really, I feel the difference immediately. I hope you too. And this is just an example to the power of the mind to create reality and to support other minds in the same reality. I mean that there is hope for humanity. Exactly, this is the hope. Really amazing. As we're breathing together, like a family, like in a brother sisterhood, again, you can direct the healing that you get from each other to heal and to soften specific parts of your system, emotional, physical, mental, or energy. So slowly, your system becomes softer, lighter, to the point that you stop feeling your physical existence. It's very beautiful. And if you are new to this type of meditation, don't be surprised that it's happening. It's happening when we stop feeling, when we stop acknowledging the physicality. So we don't feel the physical. And the next step is to let go of the breathing and to keep this awareness of light being, as if we're creating a cathedral of light between us, beautiful cathedral of light. And into this beautiful, beautiful sacred space, so much light and healing and love flowing in. And this light is for you, is for all of us. And the purpose of this cathedral of light is that each one of us will transform by itself to be exactly that. Sun of light. Sun of love. Okay? Stay like this and pay attention to your aura, the energy field around your body, and encourage your energy field to expand and expand and expand and expand to infinity. And you can say, I am the son of creation. It's not an ego statement. It's just the truth. But it's not that you are on your own the son of creation. It's that you are becoming the son of creation. Not as a separate. You're joining the sun. You're joining the light. Exactly like a river, when it becomes the ocean, it's losing its identity. That's what I mean. I am the son of creation. That's what I mean. I feel that from you, and because of you, the whole creation is shining. And the next step is to dissolve and to be that light. not to shine from you out, but to dissolve as light in light. This is no mind state. Exactly like the river become ocean, a drop of rain is ocean. We are ocean of light consciousness. If you're feeling that unity when the body is not really existing so much, when your mind is completely united with pure consciousness, so then you can see so clear that you are completely here, 100% here, maybe more than ever, but you don't need the mind to think to feel that you are here. Actually, it's really tiny dot somewhere. The truth of who you are is so immense, infinitely immense, with no comparison to the mind. Beautiful. You're welcome to stay in this state. In the different yoga book, they say that the sage entered to this samadhi, what they call samadhi state, and he stayed there for 600 years, for example, something like this. So, yeah. Or Sadhguru, he entered to this state and he was 14 hours just sitting on a hill. He thought 1 minute was past. So when you're in samadhi, that infinite state of being, time stops. Of course. But if you need to go or you need to do something, so I'm going to end now this talking meditation, let's say. And just to say, if you're new to this circle, that we're meeting every morning through the mind, then every Wednesday morning at 7:30 we meet like this live, 7:30 in the morning, every Wednesday, and every Sunday at 8 p.m. like tonight, live. As well, next week on the 25th and 26th, we're starting to offer a new cycle of energy reading, energy coaching courses, which you are most welcome to join. It's a beautiful opportunity to bring energy into any aspect of your life, privately or professionally. It has a great results. Although you're welcome to subscribe to our Infinite Being Academy subscription program, and you get all the meditation always available for you, among many other things that are available there. So, thank you so much, and I'm looking forward to see you in next meditation. And most important, keep your heart clean, your mind clean, and if it's not clean, which is normal, you find ways using what we just did to release it and to come back to beautiful empty space. Have a lovely week, my friends. Okay, bye-bye.